She asked me what inspired me, I guess. And it was really my son, Sam. When he was born in 1990, I started reading children's books for the first time since I was a kid. And I thought, let's try writing for kids. And as soon as I started writing for kids, I felt, this is what I'm good at. This is what I should have been doing all along. That's what inspired me.
Okay.
Is that working out?
I think so.
How
I
many
hope so.
books have you written?
109.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's on my website, by the way. You can check that.
Yeah, I was browsing at your website last night.
Okay, just click on Dan's books. Next.
I got what is your favorite book that you've written? Johnny Hangtime.
Okay. And you know what that's about. You can look it up to find out what it's about.
Do you enjoy writing?
Mostly, yes, I would say. Sometimes it's a little lonely to be working by yourself at home, you know. But that's why I visit libraries and schools, and I'm surrounded by hundreds of screaming kids.
Do you enjoy reading?
I do, but even to this day, as a grown-up, like if the author doesn't grab me on the first couple of pages, I just lose interest and close the book. So I kind of have a short attention span. So I like reading stuff that I like reading.
Me also.
I don't like reading stuff that I don't like reading. I don't just like reading anything. Yeah, you're that way too? Lots of kids are that way too.
I like to read
What's your
a lot.
shoestring there? Gonna trip.
Why do you write? What's your purpose?
What is my purpose? Well, there's a lot of purposes. I mean, I do it for one thing because I enjoy it. It allows me to express my creativity, if I have any. It's my job. It helps support my family, which is important too. And it beats getting a real job. You know, some people dig ditches for a living, you know, and all I have to do is write some silly words on a piece of paper and make kids laugh. That's fun.
Where did you really get your ideas?
All different places. I read the newspaper every day. I watch TV. I listen to the radio. I go to the movies. I visit schools and talk with kids. My two children have given me lots of ideas. And I also remember what it was like to be a kid, and that gives me ideas too.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a sister. Her name is Lucy. She lives far away. She lives in Oregon, so I don't get a chance to see her very often.
I have two sisters.
And they live in your house, right?
Yeah.
It's sad when they grow up and they split apart, and then you don't see them as often as
Well, you guys have a plan, don't you?
What's
Yeah.
the plan?
We are all neighbors.
Oh, you're going to live together forever.
They're going to be neighbors on the streets.
Okay. I know two sisters who moved into adjoining houses, actually in Paramus.
There's a few in Livingston that did
Bet,
that. Yeah.
bet, yeah.
Do you think writing is important?
Important. And what do you mean important?
Do you think without writing, people would get like nowhere in life? Without writing and reading?
Yeah, it would be really sad. I mean, we'd be pretty dumb, I think, if we couldn't read and write. And if we were really dumb, how could we
Get on with life.
how could we advance our civilization? How could we, you know, build these incredible buildings and everything? I think we need to be literate people in order to do that.
Me too. What genres of like reading and writing do you like?
Personally, I like to read nonfiction books. I don't generally read novels and fiction. I like to learn new things. But I write almost exclusively fiction. I guess I'd call it realistic fiction, because I like to write about real kids doing real things. I don't like write about like fantasy stories like, you know, elves and unicorns and stuff like that. You have that much memory on that thing?
It seems like it. I don't know. We'll see if we may be emailing you to get all these answers.
If you have to, you can.
When did you get the idea to be a writer?
After I finished college, I was about 25 years old, and then I started writing. And my first book didn't come out until I was 30 years old, and I'm 57 now.
What is some advice you have to give young writers?
Young writers. I would say don't try and write the next Harry Potter, because you have to develop your own style, your own voice. I'd say don't try and use a bunch of fancy words to impress people. Just try and communicate, have a conversation with the reader. And the last thing I'd say is, on my website, there's a section on tips for young authors that I think you'll find really useful. Check it out. Oh, I have a new book coming out too. It's called it's called My Weird Writing Tips. It's coming out on June 25th, so that will help
Can
you.
you send it to me at camp?
Yes, I'll send it to you.
You're going to camp? Where are you going?
Danby.
Danby, where's that? Camp Danby in Hinsdale, Massachusetts. Cool.
Yeah.
Overnight sleepaway camp?
Yeah.
It must be if it's in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay. Neat. Is that your first time going to camp?
No, it's my third.
I loved sleepaway camp when I was a
Me
kid.
too.
My daughter goes to sleepaway camp as well.
Where does she go?
She goes to a camp called Metallioniquay in South Jersey,
Oh, cool.
Medford, New Jersey.
Ah,
She's actually going to be a counselor this year.
oh, great.
She's 17.
Would you like to be my mentor?
Your mentor. What would that involve?
Just keep writing books.
I keep writing books. I'll do
Well,
that.
giving you tips. You're looking for help with developing yours, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you send me an email, and I'll give your mom my email address, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay.
Or you could just go to my website and click on Contact Dan, too.
Are you going to write any adult books or high school books?
I used to write for grown-ups. In fact, I started out writing for grown-ups. I wasn't good at it. They weren't very successful, and then I switched to writing for kids, so I'll probably stick with writing for kids. And I have been asked to write for teenagers, but I don't think it's my thing. I think my age level is like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade is perfect for me.
What do you like to do when you're not writing?
I like to play ping pong. I like to go bowling. I like to throw frisbees. I like to travel and ride my bike and watch TV.
What are your favorite authors?
I'll name some authors. Gary Paulson, Gordon Corman, David Lubar, Rick Riordan, Brian Selznick, Kurt Vonnegut Jr.
Do you like Roald Dahl?
I like Roald Dahl, yes. Yes, very much.
He's my favorite author.
Is he your favorite?
You're not
One
supposed to
of
say
my
that.
favorites.
That's okay. Hey, he was great. He's long dead, but he was
That was
great.
your author of last summer.
Yeah.
Really?
I read a
Did you read all his books?
Almost.
Okay. Yeah, he was. I just saw Matilda on Broadway. Have you seen the play?